What's up? I'm finally back on film, face to face with you, the viewer. Today I'm talking about something that a lot of viewers have written to me about, that they're excited about in Japan, and that is the Akiya. If you don't know what an Akiya is, it pretty much translates to like free house or like empty house, abandoned house. If you don't know, recently there has been a trend in Japan where the government gives away houses that have been abandoned or have just been left to decay in the middle of the countryside. And you can get these houses for anywhere from 100 yen, which is like $1, just to make the purchase go through, to make things official for a title. And some are just given away for free. And a lot of people are super excited about this. I'm actually getting a lot of emails about this. People saying they want to move to Japan, they want to buy a house because property prices in America are outrageous, and I agree with that 100%. Having purchased my own house, I 100% understand. There's things like HOAs in America, property tax, just the price of your average house. You're looking at $250,000 for just like an average size house these days, and that is insane. It makes the pricing almost impossible for anybody lower income to lower middle class. It makes a down payment almost impossible. It makes trying to get insurance on a mortgage almost impossible. And if you live in Florida, where I am at, and you need to get like a new roof and flood insurance and all this other stuff on top of it, it's unreasonable at this point. America has made purchasing the American dream damn near impossible at this point, and that's not cool. Whereas Japan has so many empty houses that are giving them away for free. What a great deal. But is it? Let's find out. Okay, so first off, when you're talking about these Akiya, I'm saying most, not all of them, okay, are inaka. That means countryside. They're going to be, I'm talking deep countryside. I'm talking you're in the middle of nowhere, as in you're driving miles and miles and miles just to get to like your local grocery store. You're also sometimes taking on farmland and expected to upkeep that farmland when you take on the house. Another thing is the government, if they own it, because it's just been abandoned to the point that the state, county, prefecture, ward, whatever you want to call it, has taken on the property, they choose the price, the value of it. Now you might think, wait a second, I thought they were free. How could there be any value? Well, they're giving it to you for free, but they still have a recommended value on the land. That's one thing that has value for sure, no matter what's on it, and the property. And they get to choose that. And let me tell you, when you get to take that stuff, just like in America, if someone gives you a bunch of money for free, you have gift tax, okay? Even if you win a car on a game show, you have to pay gift tax, okay? So let's say the house is worth 500 million yen or something close to like, God, can't do that exchange rate in my head. We're talking about like $400,000 house or something like that. 200 million yen, probably around, like $150,000 house. You're paying the taxes on that, okay? Right now, taxes are up to 10%. So you're paying 10% on that place that you're going to, and it may vary by ward. So I'm just saying 10% as the average that I know of in Osaka, but in other prefectures, that may be higher. Obviously, it can change ward by ward. Just like in America, property taxes and taxes you pay on whatever can change state by state. Same thing, but you're paying gift tax no matter what. So it's not really free, is it, if you're paying the gift tax on it after you've been supposedly given it for free. You also need to realize there's a lot of other fees that come with owning a house. There's a title fee. There's a lawyer fee for the lawyer processing the title and everything like that. If a realtor helped you find it, there's a realtor fee. They take a percentage of what the property is worth, even though you were given to that property for free. You still have to pay the percentage that the realtor makes, which is sometimes like 1 to 5%, depending on the realtor company. And that's whatever the government has chosen that property is worth. And sometimes the land is included in that. And the land is always included when it comes to gift tax, though. Land comes at a very hefty price in Japan. And you're still going to be paying property tax on that land and property tax on your house. So realize that. Those are coming real fast. Now, when you get there, almost 100% of the time, these houses are beaten down. Okay, you're not talking about state-of-the-art, futuristic. I know everybody thinks of Japan, they're like, there's robots everywhere and computers in the walls. No, there's not. Okay, Japan is behind the times. It's pretty archaic. Especially these houses you're going to be given for free. These are not, smart houses with Alexa built in, turning on the lights for you as you pull your car into the self-opening garage. Okay, there's probably not even a garage. There might not even be a driveway. There might just be like some cobblestone or gravel thrown on a rice paddy field for you to pull up your K2. All right, so please realize you are being given like sometimes a Showa era house. That's pretty old. We're talking 70 to 100 years old sometimes, these houses. If they're 70 to 100 years old, they need to be probably rebuilt almost from the ground up. A lot of these houses you could maybe refurbish, but most times the electricity and the plumbing in them is so ancient, you're better off knocking it down and restarting the entire build. That's how the average house that is given away for free begins. If you do have something with a steady foundation, there's no cracks in it, there's no plumbing problems, there's no electric problems, you're pretty darn lucky. That is a winner chicken dinner. And you need to get in there and still refurbish the inside. Tatami mat rots. Shogi doors, the paper doors have holes in them, they're ripped apart. The wood that some of these houses is kept together with, which uses sometimes no nails whatsoever, very earthquake resistant, wood still rots. Okay, termites still exist in Japan. Okay, there's probably a lot that still needs to be done. There's some of these houses I've seen people do walkthroughs of on YouTube, and there's literally animal scat throughout the house. And if you don't know what that means there's like animal droppings. Animals have just like invaded the house. You've got a pest problem, you've got a flea problem, you've got a bed bug problem. Okay. You've got termites crawling through the entire wood-based structure, which means it's not going to hold up in any kind of storm whatsoever. I can tell you that from just surviving a storm that ripped apart many people's houses who had minor termite damage. Those houses toppled first. You do not want to have a house eaten up by termites, especially an all-wood house in Japan. So you're going in there and you're refurbishing. And realize this too, sometimes you have a limit on how long it takes for you to refurbish. Some only have a 1-year limit. Most have usually a 3-year granted limit to refurbish. That means after you've given the house for free, if you don't do anything to it in the first couple of years, like you're just squatting in a rotting old house, the government takes it back. They're going to come in, they're going to check on you, they're going to make sure you actually are updating it. This is considered restoration. They want these little tiny communities that are becoming more and more abandoned all the time to be restored, and the way they want you to do that is by restoring the property that they give you. You have a nice property now, other people see it, they're like, ooh, I want to live next to this very nice house. They buy the next IKEA next to you. Not an IKEA. We're not putting together furniture with manuals that have no words. It's IKEA, okay? They're going to buy the one next to you. That's what their hope is. Has this happened in Japan? Not really. I hear so many people talk about these, but I've never heard a Japanese person talk about running out and buying all the IKEA they can to have multiple properties flourishing as they rent them out and restore all of them. If that was the case, if that was a good deal, Japanese people would be the first person to act on it. These are mostly kind of still left to the wayside, or foreigners do come over and they do check these out and they're kind of like, okay, I'll have like a contractor look at it, and the contractor is just like, no, it needs to be demolished and restarted. So please, if your dream is this, I'm not saying kill the dream, I'm not here to do Ryan Boundless Dream Crusher. There might actually be some good steals, but you probably really need to research, and you need to know like either a contractor you can converse with, or be a contractor maybe yourself, have some kind of background in refurbishing, renovating, house building, foundation, come with some sort of knowledge. Don't just be like, free houses, cool, I just got a free house, yay, and then 3 years down the line you're squatting in a leaking, rotting, disgusting house that the government takes back. I don't want that to happen to you. Sometimes 1 year. Sometimes they only give you 1 year to refurbish it. It depends on the actual square footage and how much land you have and all that stuff. They are pretty reasonable, I think, for the most part. I mean, if you have like a 1,500 square foot house and they give you 3 years to refurbish that, that's not too insane. Okay, community stuff. This is the next part I want to talk about. This is a big one. This is one that I have heard has like scared a lot of people out, and this is even like city-based Japanese people have been scared out of this situation, and that is the community connection. Okay, one thing you really need to understand is Inaka countryside life is very different from urban life in Japan. When you join a community, a countryside community, you are expected to be a big part of that community. As in, you're going to town hall meetings, you are helping other people with their fields full of food, you are helping people with their farming, you are helping people also restore their houses. And if you're saying like, wait, does every community make you do this? No. There's probably some that don't care, but from what I've heard, and this is from reports from actually Japanese people who have acquired Akiyas, that they were bullied because they were city dwellers, that like they were like mocked and like, you can't handle this countryside life trying to pull up and harvest vegetables with your clean little pretty city hands, you idiots. And like they were like mocked or like had actual aspects of utilities taken away. So for example, I read one story where they were denied service by multiple companies in town, and there's like only a very limited amount of service. So like they didn't want to join the community meetings. They were like, okay, like we're gonna do this, but like I don't, that I work a job that's like 40 hours a week. I don't want to also have to go to like a 2-hour community meeting after working a 40-hour a week job, which I think you can understand. Some of these community meetings are like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and because they didn't do that, the person who was the head of that community denied them service from things like car repair, from the plumbing services around, from the electric services around. Like he just talked to the head owners of those companies. It's like, look, these guys don't want to work with the community. They're just minding their own business and not getting to be part of our community. Deny them service, please. And because he's the head of the ward, he's the head of the city hall, those other people just listen to him and are like, oh, okay, all right, we want to still stay on your good side because you control just about everything. So these people are screwed. And they were bullied pretty much out of the community after taking on one of these Akiyas. It did not work out well for them. Another one took on an Akiya, turned it into a restaurant, and the restaurant was doing great until one day a competitor opened up nearby, and because that competitor was someone straight from the community, he talked to the suppliers to the restaurant to cut off supplies to them and make them have to get supplies from farther away, making their costs like double and triple and quadruple, and putting them out of business so that they could be the only restaurant next to that restaurant making more business than them. So there is bullying that goes on within these communities. I'm sure there's an American equivalent to this kind of stuff happening where you're considered like the weirdo outsider, city dweller, doesn't know anything about our hardcore country life. But this also happens in Japan. Bullying definitely happens in Japan. Community service, you're expected to be part of the community service. Some government places that allow you to acquire these Akiya for $0 say, okay, if you are going to do this, realize you are going to be part of community restoration. So you're not just restoring your house, you're also restoring the farm connected to your house. You're also restoring the road outside of your house. You're also restoring, community town halls, and other shared services. You're helping to restore all these Inaka communities that are like literally falling apart and being abandoned left and right. Last but not least, just take into this consideration, okay? Like Akiya, you might be really excited to take one over and turn it into like your dream business. Do realize there's also residential and business zoning. That does exist in Japan. For the most part, if you live in the city, business residential zoning are layered on top of each other, and you're okay to usually turn whatever you buy into a business as well. Because, it's like New York pretty much. Like you can have your apartment turned into like a quickie stop or something like that, because that just makes everything more efficient, utilitarian, and quick for people to buy on their way to work and stuff. Whereas in the middle of the countryside, not every place you buy is also in a business-based zone. So I've had some people write to me about how they want to buy one of these Akiyas and open a soba noodle shop and stuff like that. And I'm like, have you checked the district zoning and stuff like that? And they're like, no, why can't I just turn my place into a business? And it's like, you might want to check. It might be residentially zoned only. Like, please check these things before you decide to take on a property you find out later you can't turn into a business. Please be very careful. And please realize these are not always a great deal. If they were, they'd be all, mopped up real quick by the Japanese themselves, and they are not being quickly overtaken by the Japanese. Yes, a few foreigners are coming over and working on them and restoring them, but that usually is people who really know what they're doing when it comes to building, refurbishing, and restructuring something via a foundation and all that jazz. I don't know a lot about all that stuff. I don't know a lot about plumbing or electricity, but I have seen the woes of people who come over here ill-prepared, not knowing any contractors, just buying up the first place they get because they're like, sweet, this place looks so beautiful out here in the countryside. Oh, how do you contact a plumber, an electrician, get an air conditioner installed? Oh, there's not even electricity in this place. It's so old. Oh my gosh. Wow. So, live the dream, do what you want, come out to Japan, buy that Akiya, maybe open the business of your dreams, maybe make the house of your dreams, live in the area that you've always wanted to live in with the beautiful countryside of Japan. It is very beautiful. I will not doubt that for a second at how gorgeous countryside Japan can be. But please, please, please do your research. I hope that has kind of given you a better vision of what can happen with Akiya. Again, I'm not here to crush your dreams. I'm just here to warn you that there are some problems people run into, and that if they're not being mopped up super quick by the Japanese, there's a reason behind that. Okay? Guys, thank you again so much for all the great stuff you've done for me, for keeping me held together during these tough times that I've gone through. I want to do 2 extra things here for my members. I'm going to be putting out 2 members videos tomorrow because I tried to do a members stream last week and it didn't quite work out. I will be streaming tonight. I'll be playing some more Silent Hill while I chat with you guys, and I'll probably stream tomorrow on Sunday. Please come check those out. We hang out like we're a bunch of friends. Also, I want to announce that the Discord has now been opened up to all viewers. We have an entire mod squad now that is able to moderate everything. So it is a safer community. I just never wanted to open it up past memberships because I did have a viewer group in the past and there was like infighting and stuff like that. Nothing crazy went down, but just people infighting makes me feel like, well, I didn't create a community for people to fight. You guys are better than that. I know it. And now with the people who have stayed on this long, you are the amazing loyal viewers who are almost like friends to me pretty much, and I know you'll have nothing but a great time and great conversations in that Discord. So I will post the link below in the pinned comment for this video, and until next time, I hope you have a great rest of the day. Stay safe. I love you all.